Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very interesting topic for Angular directive, that is ngModel. So in this session, we are going to talk about ngModel directive. We will see what is ngModel, why do we need it, and how we can use it. Okay. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngModel. Alright, so now we will proceed in the similar way. Firstly, I'll walk you through the basic concepts like the definition and all the basic stuff. Then we will talk about the modules that we need to use for this ngModel directive. Here we are not going to use common module, there is a different module. Okay, and then later on, as per the requirement, we will write the code from scratch. So we will declare all the required variables, and then we will write the logic, and according to the logic we will see the implementation. Okay. Alright, so I think now we are good to start with the definition. So let's say if someone asks you in the interview question like what is ngModel directive, so you can simply say that ngModel is a built-in directive in Angular at Angular/forms package that provides two-way data binding between a form input control such as input, select, text area, and a component property. So basically it listens for the DOM input events like input or any kind of change to update the property in components class. And it also updates the UI whenever the property of value changes in the component. So this is very interesting thing, right? Just to ensure that the view and the data model stay synchronized. So if someone asks you in a very short way like what exactly it is doing, so you can say it is providing us a two-way data binding where if you change the value of component variable, it will be reflected in the view part. But and also if you change the value inside a view part, then it will also change the content in the update component. Clear? Component property. So I think this part is clear. Like what is ngModel directive? It is a directive which provides us a two-way data binding. Now in our previous session also, like somewhere we use this thing maybe in the initial sessions, because this is something that we usually use to take the input from the user. But from here, like we are going to talk about especially in terms of ngModel itself. Okay. Alright, so this is clear that let me recap the few points. Like it is implemented as a part of FormsModule. That means we need to import the FormsModule. Then it required importing FormsModule in your module. Obviously, like if it is working on FormsModule, so we need to import it. It uses a banana in a box syntax for the two-way data binding. Now what is this? So banana in a box is a kind of symbol. I'm sure like you have already used it somewhere. So let's say we have square brackets and inside this parenthesis. So this box is called as, it's a name like given to this like banana in a box. Okay. So this is the syntax of using ngModel directive. Now last point is it simplifies working with user input without manual event and property binding. Okay. Alright, so I think now we are good to import the modules. So here in import section I will write FormsModule, enter. So once FormsModule is added, you will see that this line is added. That means the form module is now imported. Now after this, what we will do, we will simply declare one variable here, let's say user name, and we will assign the name as blank for now. Alright, so now our requirement is that I want to use this variable inside my HTML file, and from there I want to create one input field which will take a input from user, and once user put some input there, it should store in this username variable, and then we will print it in the UI. Clear? Alright, so let's go to app.component.html file. Here you can see one heading is already coming, AngularDirectives demo by Sharmit. Now we will write another heading, and here I will mention the topic name. You can give any topic name, like we can simply write binding input using ngModel directive, and this is all case sensitive. Okay, right now we are in this heading part, but when you are implementing it, make sure to write it in a same case. Okay, all right. So let's write here one input field. So I will simply write input. Now in this input field we will add one placeholder. Okay, and in placeholder I will write enter user name. Now save it and let's run the application for now without ngModel. I want to show you like how it is working as of now. So we'll write ng serve -- open. It will check the error, and if there is no error, it will show this thing. Now here, if we write something like, for example, Amit. So basically what we are doing, we are providing one input field for a user where he can put the value. But right now, if I print the value, will it print the name? Let me show you. So value entered by the user, and after this we will print here username. Perfect. Now save it and refresh it. So after a refresh, you will see that let me put break here 2 times so that we can see it properly. Perfect. So now you can see, if I write something here, for example Amit, and click on enter, so you can see it is not updating anything here, right? Because so far we are not using the ngModel directive. Now to use the ngModel directive, what you will do, you will simply use here with that banana in a box, which is square brackets, then small curly braces. Inside this we will write ngModel, and from where it is coming? It is coming from the FormsModule. So always make sure that it should be there. Now we will write here username. Perfect. Let's save it and refresh it. So here if I write A, you can see at a time it is also showing this A here, MIT. Okay, in fact if I remove something, automatically it will change it, ABC. So you can see on every key press it is updating. That means here the input field and the field of component is in a sync. There is a proper synchronization. Clear? Now another thing, interesting thing I want to show you. Let's go to app.component.ts. Here let's say if I assign some value, for example XYZ. Okay, now save it. So now you will see when I updated the value inside a component variable, it is automatically updating it here in the input field as well. Okay, and why it is happening? Because both fields are synchronized with each other, and that's why we call it as a two-way data binding. Because from this way, one way is this where we are updating the UI value, and from that UI value it is updating the component value. Another is when we are updating the component value through component.ts file, or maybe through any other logic that could be possible, and then it is updating the UI value. So these two ways are considered as a two-way data binding with the help of ngModel. So I think syntax wise we are good. We got the scenario as well, like how we are creating everything. Now I'll tell you another interesting thing, that is the use case of this. So use case is like that, suppose you want to create a form. Okay, in that form you are going to receive multiple values, and you want to make sure that if user change anything in a input field, at a time it should update in the forms field as well, which you might declare in a component file. So in such situations you can utilize this ngModel, and using ngModel is straightforward. You just need to import this module, which is FormsModule, and here it will not work with common module, because so far like we use mostly the common module, right? But here you need to use FormsModule. Once it is imported, then you can declare your required variables, and from those variables you can build a logic, and once forms module is ready, then you can use this thing, otherwise it will give you error. Okay, so make sure to import this. Alright, so yeah, I think now we're good with this session. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.